Hello everyone, welcome back to Spirit Yoga with Gina. I'm Gina, and thanks for joining me here in this class today. Before we get started, I recommend getting nice and comfortable, so feel free to bring a blanket or have a blanket nearby, your mat. You can set up your atmosphere, you can light some candles, perhaps if you have a diffuser, have that going. Anything that is very comforting. Feel free to have those going. Also, if you want a warm beverage beside you, I will be using some blocks in this class, so if you don't have blocks, that's okay. I will give modifications for if you don't have any. This class we're going to be focusing on self-forgiveness. So this is a really important one to develop. So it's all about releasing shame and guilt. And so all of those are really heavy energies. So we're going to find a bit of movement, but as well as some longer poses to help release any tension in the body, any pent-up energies in the body, so that we can continue to move through our day with more ease and comfort. So once you're ready, we will get started. Awesome. So for our first pose that we're going to get into, we will be needing a blanket. But first off, we're just going to start in Sukhasana here with the legs crossed. If this is uncomfortable for the knees, feel free to send them out nice and long. Again, you can sit up on your blanket here. And begin to just sit up nice and tall. You can close your eyes. And I invite you to begin to notice how your body is feeling. So doing a mental scan here, scanning from the top of the head down to the toes. And then just noticing any sensations in the body, perhaps any warmth in the spine, perhaps a feeling of restriction in the breathing, any tightness. We're going to just take this quick scan at the beginning of class, and then we'll do one more at the end of the class today to notice how you're feeling. Begin to soften and relax the shoulders away from the ears. And sitting up tall here, but not really actively working on posture today. Begin to start to elongate your breath. Perhaps exhaling out through the mouth. And any thoughts that are swirling around in your mind here, take a moment to notice those thoughts, but without judgment. See if you can take a moment to step back and become the observer. So just noticing the thoughts that pop into your mind, and then taking a moment to release those thoughts. And you can release those thoughts however you want. I like to picture a trapdoor at the top of my head, and it's just opening up, and those thoughts are just releasing. so that you can have present here. But of course, as we're working through things in this class today, um, I invite you to just notice those thoughts first. Please don't just push them away. Allow yourself to feel everything that you need to feel. And then letting it go. The first pose that we're going to go into is going to be one that we're going to hold for a little bit to start to release some tension in the hips and the lower back. So we're going to take your blanket and pull it up kind of nice and a good thickness here. And we're going to come to sit onto it, but instead of leaning back as we normally do going into our bound angle pose, we're going to try to have the pelvis tilted forward. So you want to be sitting right kind of on the edge of your blanket so that your pelvis is rotating forward. Soles of the feet are going to come together just in front of the body. We're going to sit up nice and tall, and then as you exhale, we're going to begin to fold towards the ground so that you feel a nice deep stretch, but not too strong of a feeling that it's uncomfortable to hold for a prolonged period of time. And so if you do have a blocks available here, you can bring one in underneath the forehead. Or another option is to bring another rolled blanket in to support the belly so that you have something that you're kind of leaning on. Or another option is to bring a bolster out in front and lean the body onto the bolster. So do take a moment to get all set up here. And then when you're ready, just begin to soften forward. Take a deep breath in wherever you are and big exhale out through the mouth. And I have a couple of phrases or sentences here. For the ones that resonate with you, feel free to repeat them out loud or quietly to yourself. The first one being, I forgive myself for not being perfect. Perhaps exhaling that out. I forgive myself for not being perfect. Sometimes we have really high expectations for ourselves, or we feel others have high expectations for us, but we have to remember that we're all human. Everyone makes mistakes. We all have those human moments. The next one is, it's natural to feel ashamed sometimes. Again, it's natural to feel ashamed sometimes. Exhaling nice full breaths. The next, I am a good person. I am a good person. If this pose is beginning to get intense here, perhaps just coming out of it a little bit. Sometimes if we sit with it, we begin to notice ourselves relaxing into the pose a little bit more. So just notice if you need to back out of the pose, or if there's some areas of the body that you want to try to relax a bit more today. Our last sentence or phrase here that you can repeat if it resonates. I can learn from and transform my shame. Again, I can learn from and transform my shame. From here, I invite you to begin to slowly come all the way back upright. Take a moment to begin to sit up nice and tall. We're going to fold our knees in towards one another and to extend the feet out in front of the body. Hands can come back behind. And we're just going to windshield wiper the knees over to the left side here. And then we'll take them through center. We're going to take them all the way over to the right. Coming all the way back through center, we're going to make our way over. So you can set your blanket aside here. We're going to come into a nice big child's pose, sending the hips back. Hands can come out in front of the body. And we're just going to allow our head to lower towards the ground. You can relax your elbows down, soften through the shoulders. And as you're in this pose, imagining everything melting off the body. I let go of what no longer serves me. So this could be something that you're holding on to. Perhaps. I let go of what no longer serves me. From here, we're going to walk the fingertips over to the left and exhale. Inhale back through center, and we'll take it all the way over to the other side, and exhale fully. Remembering that you are deserving of compassion and love, as well as self-kindness here. Begin to walk yourself forward, and we're going to come into up dog, lowering the hips all the way down to the ground, opening up through the chest to look forward, letting your heart space shine and radiate forward, knowing that you are enough, you are worthy in all your being. From here you can press into the hands, and we're going to come all the way back to a tabletop position. We're going to inhale, send the right leg out nice and long, dial the toes down, and perhaps lifting the opposite arm here, perhaps not. And we're just going to continue to reach out through the limbs, and then when you're ready, we're going to exhale around through the spine and hug everything in nice and close towards the body, and then lower it down. We'll do the same on the other side. Big inhale to extend the left leg, and then dial your toes down. And then when you're ready, lifting that right hand out perhaps, or keeping it planted. Big exhale to round through the spine, press away from the ground, and lower it all the way down. From here, we're going to walk our hands forward, and we're going to draw our left knee in towards the top of the mat. Getting ready to come into our pigeon pose. From here, we're going to walk the back knee back. Your choice now, whether to come down onto the arms, to stay on the hands. This left leg is on an angle. Also an option to bring your blanket in underneath the left hip here for some support today. And then noticing where you want to come down to the ground or stay today. Knowing here as you're in this class, and as you move out of this class, that you are whole in your whole being, so that you know that there's nothing that you need outside of yourself. You are more than capable of creating the life you want to live. You are deserving of happiness. Here you can begin to slowly rise up, walk the hands underneath the shoulders, tuck the toes of the right foot, lift the back knee. We're just going to bring that foot out, press into the hands and lower the knees down. Take a moment to bring your blanket to the other side if you're using it, and then just gently bump the hips from one side to the other. Walk the hands back forward as we begin to get ready to bring the right leg in. Turn the toes on a bit of an angle here, and then just gently bringing a blanket in to support the hip perhaps. Walk the left knee back, and then when you're ready, begin to find where you want to go into this pose on this side. Remembering that this side could feel more stiff or less stiff than the other side. So again, listening to your body here. Big inhale in and then exhale nice and softly, nice long exhale out through the mouth. Perhaps seeing if you can find a bit of softness and ease in different areas of the body here. And here you can begin to place your hands on the ground if they're not there already. Slowly press yourself all the way back up. Tuck the back toes, lift the back knee. We're just going to bring that leg all the way back. Again, lower both knees. And take a moment to bump the hips just gently from one side to the other. From here, we're going to set the blanket aside. And you can walk yourself all the way down onto your belly. Elbows are going to be placed directly underneath your shoulders. Palms are going to be face down here as we come into Sphinx pose. And we're just gently pressing away from the ground and lifting up through the chest. And extending and elongating through the back of the neck. We're going to hold this pose a little longer than normal today. Noticing any thoughts or emotions that pop up here. And being the observer. And from here, you can begin to make your way all the way back down. We're going to place the left hand on the ground horizontal at the top of the mat. Lower left ear to the ground. And then just gently, we're going to bend the right knee and slide it along the ground towards that right arm. From here, you can begin to slowly extend that right leg back nice and long. We're going to take our left arm and extend it away from the body, so you can kind of slide over to the right side of your mat. And then as we extend the arm out, we're going to actually flip our arm so that the palm is facing up towards the ceiling. And then from here, we're going to begin to kind of roll on towards our left side. And we're going to bring our right foot towards the ground. So this might feel a little intense in the shoulder, so if you need to, you can draw that knee a little bit back in towards the body to release a little bit of tension there. If the shoulders are feeling really tight or tense. Hand can be on the ground, or you can bring it all the way to the lower back. We carry a lot of weight in and emotional energy in our shoulders, as well as our hips here. So this is a good stretch for both. And here we're going to slowly roll all the way back onto our belly. Take a moment to just bring both arms down. Bring the right ear to the ground. And we're going to try our stretches on the other side. So bring that right hand underneath the right ear. You can bring that left arm out the side. And we're just going to draw the left knee along the ground up towards the left elbow. From here, you can extend the right arm out nice and long. We're going to slide the left leg down. Again, we're going to flip the arm so the palm faces forward, up towards the ceiling. And then we're going to roll onto that right side. And notice where you want to place that left knee. Whether it's a little bit more forward or slightly back here, or perhaps even just on top of the other leg. Awesome. From here, you can slowly release everything, coming all the way back onto your belly. We're going to press into the palms and make our way back up for a moment. Just to grab our blanket. So for this next one, we're going to roll our blanket. And we're going to be placing it just horizontal on our yoga mat. From here, you're going to come and make your way all the way to lie back onto it so that the blanket is underneath kind of the mid-upper back between the shoulder blades. Okay, and so from here, the legs can be up towards the ceiling, or you can extend them out nice and long, your choice. And if your head can't touch the ground here, your head should be touching. So if you need to, make the roll a little bit smaller so that it's comfortable and that you aren't just having your head dangle in midair. And if it's having it rolled really high, like a big amount is uncomfortable as well, just feel free, same thing, to lower that a little bit. Option if the knees are raised here to send them the feet nice and wide and let the knees come in towards one another. Take a moment to embrace this pose. It's a great pose for releasing energy, emotions. Fully embrace this pose and let whatever comes up come up here. Remembering here that you are only in control of yourself. You cannot control other people's actions, reactions. You can choose to have self-compassion for yourself. You can choose to have compassion for others. And you can choose and allow self-forgiveness. You can choose and release shame and guilt. From here, you can place your hands on the ground, let the feet come back in line with the hips. Then we're going to press into the arms and raise the body all the way up, and we can remove the blanket out from underneath. We're going to get ready to go straight into Shavasana from here. So if you want, you can grab a pillow, any extra blankets, get nice and comfortable. Once you arrive on the ground here today, begin to snuggle the shoulder blades in underneath the center of your back. Allow your body to relax into the ground. Relax the toes and fingertips. And find the different areas to soften. Release any tension held in the belly, the diaphragm, the chest, the face muscles, the jaw. I invite you to do another mental scan of the body here, noticing how you feel, how it feels, if there's any difference from the beginning of class. have the time today, feel free to remain in Shavasana for a bit longer. Otherwise, you can start to wiggle your toes and fingers. Take this moment to thank yourself for coming onto your mat today and making a motion to show up for yourself and to find a bit of movement for the body. Grab some relaxation, some clearing of thoughts perhaps. And thank you for joining me here in this online class. From here I'll bring my palms together up to the forehead. Namaste. Have a great rest of your day.